live. I am here in front of you right now. So pumped to go over. We're going to do things a little bit differently today. Of course, we're going to look over the overall S&P 500, but we're going to start with the watch list today. We want to make sure that everybody is here for that one big reason. Everybody's here for that number one watch list. Of course, we bring it to you just out of the kindness of our hearts. We absolutely love you, and all we ask for doing this is hit that like and hit that subscribe button. Of course, if you want to join this awesome community, all you have to do is join our free Discord. All you have to do is have an open mind and a heart of gold. What's going on? I already see some of you guys peeling in here. Let's go. Burning Rubber, Erica K. She's first. Wooden Bell coming in hot as second. And Dan Bob Dan, the greatest moderator alive, is blessing us today with his presence. Now, guys, it's going to be a little bit more fast-paced today. We're going to make sure that we get through all the information that you need to hear. But the very first thing we're going to go over is that watch list. I got about 15 tickers here that if you have not already got in something absolutely beautiful for this bull run, we will have something for you to at least keep your eye on because they are very close to breaking out. Hello, my name is David Worrell. Welcome to the Swing Trader Strategy Weekly Watch List. Wow, that is a doozy of a mouthful. We hope that you stick around, but remember, we're going to start with the watch list first, and then we're going to go over all the rest of it. Stay tuned, baby. All right, guys, we are not going to delay. We already know that I am risk on. As long as we're above a 21-day moving average, I am risk on. So the first thing we are going to do is jump right into the watch list. Now, we have a little bit of everything. I'm going to give you my understanding of it. And some of these are from you in the Discord. Yes, I looked them over. I like them. I like them a lot. I like them a lot. Now, remember, guys, we have a lot of things that are extended. If you are too far past the 10-day moving average, we wait for contraction for it to get tight to break a trend or a base breakout. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, we have a free trading school. Yes, it is still free. I want to say in the next 6 months, though, we are going to restrict the people that can actually view that. We are only going to release that to the people that actually prove to us they want to learn. So if you want to be a part of that, go watch it now while it's free. Just hit that like and subscribe button. The free trading course is right there in our YouTube. So go check that out, guys. Absolutely free. GEO. We're going to start with GEO. This was from an awesome trader, the sweet Jolene Martina. It's good to see you in the building. And Zamora's here too. Predator made it here on time. Oh my goodness. And Jimmy Bright says, love the tie. What up, Beef Stewie? Good to see you. And Yosef, we got a packed house tonight, baby. Let's talk about the tie just really quick. Look at that. Festive, baby. Festive. Festive, baby. We're looking good. So GEO was from Jolene. This looks absolutely beautiful. What am I thinking about this? Well, huge push up on volume. We also have an earnings catalyst. They're actually showing a little fruitfulness, 3 pennies higher than the EPS expected. But I'm seeing a base breakout right here, okay? So if this thing gets up into this area and breaks out, of course, I'd like to see this get a little bit tighter. A couple of inside days before breaking out will show proper risk reward, meaning if we break out from this $30 area and we hold this $28 area, we have $2 worth of risk on an average daily range of 7.2%. Nalani is in the building too. What's going on, Nalani? Next up is CANG. CANG. Now, do keep in mind, folks, I am not fully aware of some of these sectors. So the things that I'm giving you to, I need you to do the deeper dive in, okay? I will give you a few stocks that I've already done my deeper dive into and I do enjoy, but this is for those that have not broken out yet, okay? Meaning you're not in a leader if you are still looking for setups, right? We're actually looking at laggers right now, but we will also look at a few leaders so that way we can see where they're at on this scale. Remember, we always want to be in the leaders and in the hot sectors. So CANG, do your homework. We have a big push up here. We're getting a lot of volume, and now we're showing a basing top here at this 421. Looking absolutely good. Wooden Bell says, watched every video, I think. Now, that is dedication. I really do appreciate that, Wooden Bell. That means the absolute world to me. We are moving up. The YouTube algorithm is starting to shove us out there, guys. So we're putting in the work, and it's obviously because I have an amazing following from each and every one of you. So thank you. I appreciate you. Next up is SQB. Stewie actually brought this to my attention. This is a mover around 4.4%. I'm going to tell you why I like this, though. So we're always looking for that stage 2 uptrend. If you don't know what a stage 2 uptrend, we're going to look at Stan Weinstein's stage analysis. And I'm just trying to type while I'm talking. I'm trying to type while Stan Weinstein stage analysis. I just want everybody to be familiar with this actual picture, guys, because if you have an understanding, it's super, super simple. If you have an understanding of this picture right here from the Stan Weinstein stage analysis, you're going to see on the weekly, we're going to want to see this thing reduce its stage 4 decline into a stage 1 before it starts going into a stage 2. So when we talk about things like that, what we are looking for on the chart is something like this. We want it to be a faster mover. This is above that 4%. This is right around that 4.4%. We're looking for closer to 5, but I like 4.4%. You can see the stage 4 decline, the stage 1 where it's traveled sideways. And now we're actually starting to see new higher lows being put in. Here's your low. Here's a new higher low. Here's a new higher low. We have the 3 new higher lows. And now look at this base top right here. We were talked about retest in our Discord 2 weeks ago. Right here is what you are doing. You are retesting that $88 area for a retest on SQ. Okay, this is Block Incorporated. If you're not familiar, they're a big chain of, I shouldn't say chain, but they're a big company. They take your money. I think they started doing the swipe things and they were charging per swipe. I'm not exactly sure how they're making their money, but on the technical basis here, you can see we have a nice basing pattern. We are seeing an uptick in volume in this area, so we could see some continuation in this, okay? This would be, I think, in the banking sector. I think your leader in the banking sector is going to be Goldman Sachs, which is GS. And you can see here, Goldman Sachs reaching a new all-time high when we had that trading day. I believe that our last trading day was on Friday, that half trading day, okay? So there's your Goldman Sachs there. That is the leader. That is exactly what you want to make sure that we understand. What is the leaders? What is the leaders? SQ is hot, Jolene says. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. SQ is definitely hot. It's looking nice, but we do want to keep in mind it is a lagger. Why do I keep bringing that up? Because if Goldman Sachs decides it's going to start pulling back and SQ follows its leader, then we might see it pull back as well. But is Goldman Sachs, what's the difference between, Goldman Sachs and Visa? Because blockchain could be more a part of that. Either way, Visa is also leading the way in that same sector. So just keep in mind, SQ is looking good. It looks like it's getting ready to start a stage 2 uptrend as it's pulling back and retesting that $88 area, but we want to see continuation. Dan Bob's bringing up SoFi. Now, SoFi has been a big one, guys. This thing's been pushing up very high, very fast, but this is what I mean. There's a lot of names out there that we could bring up just like SoFi. NVIDIA, Palantir, Meta, the Mag 7 names really aren't doing that well, but there are a lot, Rocket Lab. We could go on and on. They're all so extended, guys. I cannot, of course, keep your eye on this because these things, when they start taking off and they start going into this stage 2 uptrend, if you want a piece of this stage 2 uptrend, they usually give you areas to get in. These pullbacks to the 10 and 21-day moving average, if you're seeing that again, that might be the play there. But right now, this thing's really taken off. We wanted to identify this thing to start breaking out into a stage 2. And if you were there and you caught it, congrats. This would be your 3 new lower highs, and this would be your basing breakout. Or you could have tried to play this trend breakout here nearly in the future as it held this 648. Now, this is in hindsight, people. I'm not a genius, but when I see something going up in hindsight, it makes me sure feel like one. So don't get that differentiated when you're looking at some of these other stocks because they don't have to go up. AMTX is one that I was looking at. This thing is on a very considerable downtrend. Could this be starting to lurk into a stage 2? The question is here, right here in this area. If we can take this flagging pattern and break out higher, I think this thing could continue to run. That is AMTX. Let me get a sip of coffee. Ooh, AMTX, guys. Now, you can see it right here. It's getting tighter on the 10-day moving average after a beautiful earnings catalyst, bringing the volume into high as this thing pulls back to the 10-day moving average. It's starting to get tight now. So if this thing can break out of that $4, $4.13 area, I think we can have some proper push to the north side. What's up, Matt Amaya? What's going on? Nike, SELH, IONQ, QBT, yes. And those are all very, very important names. The reason why I don't have these on my watch list is because a lot of these are overextended. CLH I haven't looked at in quite some time. We're going to come back to these, though, as I want to get through a couple more that are on my watch list here. I also have OKLO. This is a very interesting ticker. As you can see, it's very volatile and very choppy, but I just found it interesting because of the massive amount of volume that's coming in. And if we condense this information down, okay, you can see there's a ton of volume and they're starting to get some of that dry up pattern as we start to find a very tight area here. So I think this $25 area, if it starts to break out of this area, we can look at it kind of like this. Okay, we get something like this and we get something like this. Okay, now if it breaks out of this area, you can use the 21-day moving average as your stop or previous day, depending on how you like to take your approach on risk. But remember, this is moves 14.9%. What's going on, Danny? He says, hello, King. What's going on, dude? If I'm a king, then you're the wizard, and we appreciate your presence. Danny, thank you so much for coming on into the building. OKLO on your list too, Jolene? Absolutely. I feel like on this thing, we almost need to look at the weekly because there's so much information here. So if we look at the weekly, we could still see this thing is very, very range bound between that $28 and that $17. And that's why we're getting that 14.9%. It's a very fast mover. It's what I always like to say. This is a rip your face off kind of stock. You need to be very, very careful with this kind of volatility. If you get into something like that, just be ready for it. We also have AMPX. Now, if you guys have been following me for a while, I like these type of moves, but I much rather see it fill in and create a better triangle than this because sometimes these things will just ride and trade sideways for weeks. So this is not any kind of 5-star in this situation here, but AMPX is on my watch list. I like this pop up above the 200-day moving average. If it can start to head higher, we might start to see a stage 2 out of this, but I still think it has some time to prove. I see you guys smashing that love in the chat. I'm going to send it right on back. Thank you guys so much for being here. And if I could just take a quick second and thank you all. And if you would do me a favor for making this, because I am here twice a week for you guys, sometimes 3 days a week. I do it all for free. We're not getting paid on this channel, not just yet, but we did file for that ad subscription. So we do hope we start picking away a little bit out of that ad revenue. But regardless, thank you guys so much for being here. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. It's all for free, baby. It's all for free. And one thing I want to bring up before we continue with the #1 watch list for the swing traders is going to be, you need to check out our Facebook. If you guys want to be entered to win in a drawing, this is our last and final drawing. We are trying to get these cups delivered, but we have not had too much success on these drawings. You guys are just out of the states or just too far gone, but we do appreciate everybody being a part of it. Go to the Swing Traders Strategy. We need you to go to the Swing Trader Strategy. If you guys are not a part of Swing Trader Strategies, you are missing out. This is a very fast-growing Facebook community. All you need to do is go right here, click the comment button and say, hello, good sir. You can say whatever you want. You don't have to say that. But after you do that, and you send it, you will be entered to win in this last and final drawing before we get some different merch. Right now, it's the Poet Technologies. We've been doing this Poet Technology. That's P-O-E-T. Dan Bob actually called, the greatest moderator live called, and he said we would be keeping an eye on their ticker, and they would, you know, if they have any free giveaway stuff that we could send out, and they did. And I thought that was really cool, and we'll be doing more of these in the future. So just go to the Swing Trader Strategy Facebook page and make sure you comment on the merch, and you guys will have a chance to win. We'll be doing that next week, so make sure that you are present next week as well. Definitely. Cool haircut, bro, Dan Bob. What's going on, Robert Tainch? It's good to see you, brother. B. Stewie says, please smash that like button. Thank you, B. Stewie. You are awesome. QBT is on your lifts as well. The thing with QBT for me is that it is extended, but man, does that look pretty as it's starting to tighten up. When we see a lot of volatility like this, we see a lot of big volume coming in as it contracts, and big volume comes in as it contracts. This brings in a lot of those swing traders. This thing moves 30.3%. So it's one of those that will rip your face off. If you are not ready or you do not understand risk management, watch my video. It's absolutely free. Do your homework, because this is where you could wake up tomorrow morning and half of your account could be completely ripped out of your hands because you don't understand volatility. With that being said, you can make a hell of a lot of money too. So make sure you understand risk management and put QBT on your watch list. I think this needs more time, guys. I think this needs more time. I can paint a little picture for you. Here's QUBT. Okay, when I see something like this, what I would love to see is after this big push up and this pullback, for it to do one of these. Trade sideways for a little bit. Give it some time, man. Give it some time. Now, if it doesn't, it takes off without me. You can say, Dave, I told you so. But what I can say is if it does, then I didn't have to wait for all of this bullshit to play out and finally take a trade in an area where it was most likely to break out. So that way I wasn't sitting in volatility for the next week before we actually do see a breakout. Now, I could be very wrong. You could get in, you could get rip, tater chip and make some money, but this is my strategy. I have to do it like this. If not, I'm going to get shaken out. And I don't like getting shaken out. And I know you don't like to either. So that is just my thoughts. It inquires on QUBT. Now we have MD. It kind of looks like AMPX, but we also have JVA. I wanted to show you guys this one because this is kind of exactly what we're looking for here when it comes to these breakout setups. Now this thing moves 9%. Okay. If I seen this thing setting up, which I did not, but if I seen this thing setting up, I would want to see these new higher lows. Now, we have one new higher low, we have two new higher lows, and we have three new higher lows. At this point, I can play this structure at any given time, but what I like to do is to see the breakout. Not only did this break out, but it came back and retested this 10-day moving average. I wanted to bring this up because I brought it up last week, and JVA is finally actually breaking out on volume here. This is one thing that we always want to keep in mind when we're seeing these breakouts. If we were in this breakout and we didn't see the volume, we might want to start peeling pieces off. But because JVA is doing so well, starting to break out, almost looking like a beautiful and confirmed stage 2 uptrend at this point, that looks absolutely beautiful. So let's keep on keeping on here, guys. I absolutely love seeing the chat. This is awesome. Danny said he sent 1,000 hearts. Damn, dude. That is amazing. Thank you, fine. Thank you, fine, sir. I sent a couple back. I love it. You guys are awesome, man. So much support. So much damn support. That's what I love about this community, guys. Now I got LPRO. Now, when you look at LPRO, you say, Dave, what the hell are you looking at? Like, what is this? Absolute garbage. Well, guys, unless we are going to look at all the leaders that are extended currently, then you're not going to be able to find anything else that might get pulled up by the rest of the bull market. Now, I always say you need to be in these leaders. But if I'm going to look at each leader in this market and I'm going to say, well, this is extended and this is extended and this is extended, you guys are going to get sick of it, right? All the stocks that are extended right now need a little bit more time, including QUBT. Now, I could be wrong. It could continue going higher, but to my strategy, there's no way I can buy a stock that's so far extended from those 10-day moving averages. So I think they need time. Now this one, LPRO, if this can start to head higher and get this 200-day moving average to turn up, this might be one for the future. Definitely not a 5-star. Definitely needs a lot more time. We also have AMSC. Now I've played AMSC. You could see my chart. I've played a lot of AMSC. I actually made quite a bit of money on this new lower high stage, what I considered a stage 2 uptrend. Obviously, I'm not in it right now. I've exited completely out of this, but you can see you have this big cup with handle. It looked better on the weekly, but you have this big cup now with this handle. This is forming another one of those trend breaks. Now, this is a superconductor, so keeping that in mind, this is not the hottest play. How do we know? If we look at SMH, This is the semiconductor ETF. It's below all of its moving averages and just trying to hold on to the 200-day. Okay, so when we look at AMSC, yes, it's looking good. It's looking very good, but it still is in a slumber right now as the semiconductors are kind of taking some time off. I mean, guys, it's been what, almost 2.5 years? Semiconductors has led this race, and now we're finally seeing some breath in the market. Will that breath come back? I think so. I really do think so. Semiconductors will start to follow the rest of this market, but right now, they've done all the hard work dragging this market up for the past 2 years. 2 years, I think semiconductors deserves to take a break. Now, if it starts to take off again, yes, I can definitely see this thing getting tight here and breaking out to the north side. So keep AMSC on your watch list. Now, I have about 4 more I want to show you. So if you have not seen me actually bring up the stock that you want me to take a look at, throw it in the chat right now. I'll go over it, and we can take a quick second to see. Make sure everybody's covered. We want to make sure everybody's covered. Let me take a sip of this because obviously my voice is absolutely gone today. That pneumonia with a P has gotten me down, baby. So here's a really cool one. I really, really like this one. Tell me what you guys think. This is REPL. Now, keep in mind, another very fast mover, okay? This is REPL. The only thing I like about this stock, we would have to delete this whole section here. This is all I like. We have this uptrend, we have a pullback, and then we get a surprise. This thing rips up, and look how tight this is getting right now, okay? If we put this on the hourly, I think it might, ooh, not that one. Hang on, hold up. Let's throw this hourly up here, get rid of this. Put this back on the daily, okay. Okay, it looks like I know what I'm doing now. All right, so check this out, guys. This is what I'm looking at right here. Okay, on the hourly, you can see it's starting to get tight. It's starting to form this trending pattern. If it breaks out on this, we want to see what? You better believe it. Volume, baby. You want to see some volume, absolutely, to break through this. If you want to play the hourly, go for it. If you want to play the daily, that works too. I just think it looks a little cleaner on the hourly, but this thing is getting tighter. What do I want to see? Most of all, the 10 and 21-day moving average catch up to it. But this is how tight we want to see that get. It went from a spread from 17 to 13, and now the spread is from 14.50 to 14. So it went from $3 to 50 cents, guys. Okay? $3 tightened all the way up to 50 cents. That's what you want to see. I see you guys throwing your tickers up in the chat. We will be going over those very, very soon, guys. Give me 1 second. I got 3 more, and I think you guys are going to want to hear about VERA. Now, healthcare, the healthcare sector has been in a lull, and we can look up the healthcare sector right now, which is XLV. You can see here on a daily time frame, it's actually below its 200-day moving average and is in a confirmed downtrend. So when we look at these healthcare stocks, they don't give me too much emphasis to want to actually take a trade in healthcare because it looks like it's going to run right back into its area of resistance. But looking back at VERA, it looks very, very good as we have this beautiful cup with handle form now. And I think William O'Neill would actually like this one. Let's take a little look at the weekly because we know on how to make money in stocks, he loves to go over in the first 100 pages of this book. He shows them all in the weekly time frame. So when we look at it here in the weekly time frame, yes, we get this beautiful cup. We have a handle starting to form. Let's measure this. We want to make sure that this is around that 30. Yes, we have that 30% right there. So that's looking very good. This is the cup. Huge push up on volume, a beautiful cup. We need the handle. If this breaks out of this 51, or let's just call it the $50 area because it's a psychological area as well. If it breaks through this area, I think VERA can go higher. But overall right now, the sector's ETF is kind of in an area of resistance. So we need to be very, very careful with that. But I have my mark set at 50.83. So I think you should be alerted as well. And of course, coin's a bit of a lagger, people. Of course, with Bitcoin ramping and raring to go, you would think coin would have taken off a little bit more than this. You can't really complain though, obviously, if we're coming off these bases, it jumped up a 90%. So who the hell am I to say only this high? A lot of volatility in coin, and you can see a lot of trying to shake people out. This thing is still continuing higher on volume. Just keep in mind, if you're playing Coinbase, when they do these wonky things here, I mean, these are huge, just volatile pops and rips and pulls. And of course, it's going to follow Bitcoin a little more. Because why? Because their transactions are from Bitcoin. They're making money off people purchasing, buying and selling that Bitcoin. So that's why Coinbase is in that sector. We also have BTDR, guys. BTDR. Let's get off this weekly. We're going to go back down to a daily. I just wanted to point out here another one of these trends, these very volatile looking trends. You can just do something as simple as this, and you can take it when it breaks out of this area. Of course, this was in the pre-market, so you would have been wanting to watch this in the morning, and you would have seen that volume come in, and you would have wanted to take that in the morning. Now, I've seen one of you guys bring up IONQ. Again, this is another one of those leaders out there. This is your supercomputers, right? Your quantum computers. You can see here, it's just extended, guys. It's extended from that 10-day moving average. Anytime it gets down to that 10-day moving average, it gets bought right back up. So it's looking really good in this area. We just have to give it some more time to let us get into it. I'm not seeing a base. I'm not seeing a trend breakout. So there's nothing we can do. If you're in it, I would always say hold onto it until it closes below a 10-day moving average. Okay, and you might say, well, Dave, who the hell are you to say to hold a stock? I'm not. That's my strategy. If I was in this, where I was playing with it back here, but never actually got to hold on to it. Stopped me out, of course. After it broke back up through here, I was keeping an eye on it, but I never had any full beliefs that this was going to work out. I like this trend break, but of course, that earnings was coming up, and earnings will ruin everything. So just keep that in mind. All right. Excuse me, guys. Let me take a sip. That is some good stuff. We got a couple things to go over here, guys. We're going to go through your watch list right now, but I have right here in front of me one thing I cannot wait to announce. If you guys were a part of the Discord, you might already know what I have to say. So stay tuned, but we got a question for you. We already got 20 votes on this. Will the bull run last? 70% of you say 1 or more years. 15% say recession within the next year. 10% say just here for the watch list, Dave. And 5% say the good times are almost over. We're going to go ahead and end this poll right now. It's very interesting to see the difference. The more people that we start to get in here, the difference that we get in opinions on where we're at with the bull market or bear market, or whether we think the economy is going to be doing well in the next year or not. And I like to see those differences, because if we have too far of a bias on one way, we can always lose traction. I sound like a rocker. You know, my voice is gone. I sound like an old-time rocker right now. Dan, Bob Dan, the greatest moderator alive, has now posted the link tree in the chat. If you guys look at my screen right here and you click on this, you'll see our link tree pops up right here. This is our YouTube. That's where you can find that free swing trading course. Of course, if you have an open mind and a golden heart, you can join our Discord, join our family. You can be attached. We can be in your pocket at all times. If you have any questions, you can ask them there. And of course, if you want to use TradingView just like me, use my affiliate link. Today, you can get 70% off. There's only 3 days left on their Black Friday deal. If you use my link code, I get a little pop. I get a little piece of that. It's not much, but it does help out a lot. So if you guys want an awesome trading platform, you can use TradingView for free, or if you want the Essential program, it gives me a little back. We also have Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Don't forget Facebook, guys. You're going to want to join the Swing Trader Strategy. Act now or forever hold your peace. The greatest moderator alive is also there, making sure there is no garbage that you have to worry about. And of course, hit this like button, guys. Right here it is. And right next to it, subscribe. Goodness gracious, so simple, so easy. I do it all for you right here, right now. All right, let's go over what you guys have, and then we will go over the overall market. We have, excuse me, or we went over QBT, we went over IONQ. Let's take a look at ETON. Wooden Bell says ETON. I think I've seen this. And yeah, and you guys are going to hear me saying this a lot, guys. Look at this. It's so extended, right? So when we look at stocks like this, guys, the main thing that I think it's very, very important that we focus on is that if you are in this stock, right? Let's say you played this base breakout or this base breakout. Beautiful stock. Lots of areas that you could have traded this, right? If you're in this stock, the first thing I want to look at is what moving average is it being held up by, okay? Just so we can have an idea, so we can have an understanding. And the first thing I see is this 10-day moving average. So if you are in this, if you played this base breakout right here, or you played this base breakout right here, or this base breakout, or this trend breakout right here. You know, if you played any one of these, the 10-day moving average is holding true, meaning it has not closed below a 10-day moving average for since August, guys. If you would have played this base breakout, but I wouldn't have because it's below a 10-day moving average or a 21-day or 200-day moving average, it needed to make new higher lows. This would have been the best area for me to actually want to take a hold of this, and I would have held it to here because of the earnings. So this would have been the best play. Obviously, you're going to get 40% out of that, but that's what we're looking for. But I do like ETON. It's clearly a mover. It's doing great in the pharmaceuticals, especially right now. And the thing is with ETON, it's too extended. So if you're in it, I'm using this 10-day moving average as my stop. If it closes at the end of the day below the 10-day moving average, I will exit this trade. But until it does that, we let ETON keep on keeping on because it's rocking right now, okay? MDXG from Dan Bob, and look at that base breakout. MDXG should be on your watch list. It's on mine. I didn't bring it up today. This must have been from last week maybe when it popped up here before, but I like MDXG. My alert is set at $9.50 right now. I think maybe you showed this to me last week, Dan Bob. I'm not sure. But it's looking good, and I like the volume here. Lots of volume on this push-up, guys. 5.5 million shares traded. I do like the volume on that. All right, let's see. We got CDXC. CDXC, yes, I'd really like this too. So this is actually sitting right on top of its base. So it's almost one of those things where if you want to play using this 10-day moving average, you could take this trade if you're willing to risk this 730, you know, and this thing moves 10.6%. So meaning if you took this right now, you would still have good risk reward. You could use previous day, you could use 10-day moving average as your stop loss. You would have good risk reward there, right? And it's at the area of breaking out. Where's the volume on the breakout? I'm not seeing it, so I wouldn't be in it just yet. Let's see what else we got. Wow, lots of them. Tesla. Let's take a look at Tesla. So Uncle Tesla, I'm telling you, Uncle Tesla's tricky. Uncle Tesla has taken more money than any other stock from me out there. I promise you. I promise you guys. And, you know, I fell in love with this stock because I got to watch a lot of this moving up. You know, as a you know, early trader, I guess you could consider, watching this whole run up was hard because I did not understand the power behind something like this. And now I've seen it with NVIDIA firsthand. I wasn't just catching it halfway through. I'm watching NVIDIA firsthand and continuing to see it. When it starts to pull back, I'd like to be on the other side of the trade, of course, but you don't want to be early because if you're early, this can happen, okay? So Tesla's looking good here. The thing with Tesla is it's hard to play. It's riding a 10-day moving average. If you like trades like this, you know, but me personally, I can't trade Tesla unless it is in the long-term portfolio. It's going to be a buy and just hold. Ugly truck stock. Dan Bob says Tesla is just the ugly truck stock. Whatever, Dan Bob, you're jealous. When I money up here and I buy the Tesla Cybertruck, I'm going to come pick you up in it, and then we're gonna see how much you really hate it. Maybe I'll just run you over. I don't know. Let's take a look at Roblox. Roblox is another one I was never really a very good trader at, but one thing we have to understand with Roblox is it is showing characteristics than it might be, starting its stage 2 uptrend. Now, why do I hate Roblox? Because I don't think Roblox is going to make it, right? I could be wrong, okay? But usually videos games, they come out, they, just like stocks, right? They move up, they get really volatile, people get really excited, but then they lose interest and they go down. Look at every console, look at every video game that's ever been out there, they're still not playing it, right? The only thing that made a comeback was Pac-Man because they were taking the old technology, putting it in something new, and then selling it for a very cheap price. The nostalgia sold. Okay, so you got to wait 35 to 50 years before you can resell it. What I'm saying is I think Roblox eventually is going to die. But on a technical form, like on a technical basis, when we look at Roblox, it's on a stage 2. You can see the 200-day moving average is starting to curl up here, and it's above this area of basing that it held for almost 3 years. Yeah, it's been basing here for 3 years, and it's finally above it. Okay, so if you guys are into Roblox, if you like Roblox, if your kids take your money for Roblox, my kids do not, so I'm not believing Roblox. If this was Fortnite, I might say it's got one last cigar burn left in it, like Warren Buffett would say, those last puffers, one last pump on it. Predator says Roblox is very different. It's actually a programming platform. Yeah, actually, I look kind of into that. So because they have their own, they have their game, but they also have their area where they can set things up. But I've seen a lot of platforms like that try to do things. So unless a ton of video games are being formed, now I know a lot of their users will actually form these video games on there and then they push them out. But it's not getting to the point where you can't just not make a Roblox game. It's all Roblox games. So I understand it. I see the way it's working. Maybe I don't understand the full concept of it, but I just don't see how they're going to continue to be able to generate a ton of revenue from Roblox. Okay. Now, I've been wrong before. I was wrong before. I was trying to short it at one point in time and it stopped me out. Obviously, in hindsight, it's like, how did it stop you out? I think it was somewhere over here, though. I was playing this basing area and it stopped me out here, and then let's not talk about it, huh? Who had to bring up Roblox, damn it? Yosef? Of course you did. No, I'm only kidding. NXL, so I was watching NXL. I really like it. I think this was a great trend break take right here. So if you were to play a trend, you could be already in this using this as your low, but now this making new higher lows. I like this basing top right here, almost creating that cup and handle kind of look. So I like NXL. It's in the technology sector, and this huge push up. It deserves to have a nice little pullback like this. Let's take a look at the weekly though. So here's the weekly. You can see it's extended from the 10-day moving average on the weekly, but obviously it's got good characteristics. Lots of volume on these push-ups, not as much volume on these pullbacks. So we'll see where it wants to go. But yeah, I would say NXL is worthy for the watch list. And it's still a little extended from the 10-day, but if it can get tight here within the next 3 days before it breaks out above that $4.36, I think that's going to be absolutely awesome. All right, I think we caught up on everybody's tickers. Now we got a few more things we want to go through, so I just want to say thank you guys for sticking with me this long. I know we have consistent traders among us. I know a lot of you guys keep showing up, you keep learning with me, and I really, really appreciate it because I'm learning myself too, guys. If you ever stop learning, you're done trading. The market's going to catch you off guard. You always have to be learning each and every day. If it's not from the books, if it's not from YouTube, if it's not from another trader or a friend, if it's not from your financial advisor, you need to learn from your own damn mistakes, okay? Quit doing the same shit over and over again. Quit buying those all-time highs. Quit buying those parabolic breakouts that have been hurting you over and over again. Quit holding on to shit stocks that are below their 200-day moving average. Cut your losses, guys. Start over fresh. We got a new year coming up very, very soon. One of the biggest things that I wanted to bring up, I have not resonated with a lot of the traders because I know a lot of you guys are starting with small accounts, or at least you're not learning with a large account, which we never suggest. So I've decided, sat down with the wife, decided we need to do something to help show, to help curate, to help mold traders. And I think from now on, we are going to focus solely on a 1,000 account challenge. Yes, I'm willing to go back under the PDT rule, use only cash to show this strategy can work, even if you're playing what we could consider penny stocks, anything under $5, right? You can play those. They all work the same. We're going to be in a little bit more volatile stocks, but my goal is to show you that with $1,000, what we can do in a year's time and how we can make that grow. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun being able to go over the tickers with you guys. And I think another thing too is going to be fun is that knowing that we're not really risking a lot of money. You know, $10 would be 1% of that account. So if we're going to risk up to 1% of that account, my mask risk can only be $10. Okay, I'm sorry, $100. I'm sorry, guys, forgive me. Is $100. Okay, now risking a full $100 means if I lose 10 trades in a row, I'm pooped. I'm done. You know, so building that cushion is going to be fun. Finding the right stocks and knowing that we're in the right area is going to be the best and the most fun I think we're going to have with this $1,000 challenge, 1,000 account challenge. There's not going to be any real rules in place except for the fact that it's got to be a cash account. I'm only allowed to use $1,000 at a time, and it needs to stick to my strategy, whether it's the 5-minute trend breakout or if it is the base or trend breakout on the daily or hourly time set. You guys know my strategy. I teach it here. It's obviously in our Swing Trader Strategy School. You just go to our YouTube, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you can get behind the 1K challenge, if you want to do it with me, okay, you're more than welcome to. You guys, I'm very transparent on everything that I do. I think that you guys should be transparent too. OPFI, let's take a little peek. Yes. So another thing with OPFI, you know, it looks good. It's ramping up. It's rip, tater, chipping, but it's extended from that 10-day moving average. So when we look at a play like this, we can say, well, this could have been a play or this could have been a play. But right now, you cannot get into something like this. I mean, you can. But what are you going to do when this thing gaps down tomorrow morning? It's at the 10-day moving average. And you bought here at 819 and it's at 765. So I will say this, yes, you're looking at the right stocks, but the issue with OPFI is you can't just buy in right now. Now let's imagine that you are in this stock and you're saying OPFI because you want to know how the characteristics of it looks. It looks great. It's ripping. You know, this thing, it's holding the 10-day moving average. It's respecting it. So I would say if I was in this, I'm holding on this thing until it breaks the 10-day moving average, or unless I hit 10R, then I'm going to take off half of my trades. So I hope that answers your question. Tommy Dimes, I don't think you really asked a question. You're just shooting out the ticker. Oh, I see we got another subscriber. Look at that, baby. We're doing something right, huh? Maybe it's a tie. I bet that's what it is. It's the festive reindeer. Oh, you better believe it, baby. It's a good day. It's a good day. All right. Now that you guys have made it this far, let's go over the overall S&P 500. And I think you guys already know, yes, I am risk on, baby. We were risk on after the old political battle bullshit was done and Trump trumped it and he won. And what happened? The market decided we're not already in an absolute bull market rally. Let's gap up overnight. And overnight we did from 576, and then we opened up in the morning 2.2% higher. Twice the average daily, the S&P 500 moved up overnight with that news. So that was an absolutely awesome pop to go heading higher. I called my financial advisor first thing in the morning and I said, look, you got to get me in. And of course, being the good financial advisor, he said, David, you missed this whole move. You missed this whole move. And I said, look, we were below a 21-day moving average. I was risk off, as you guys can see here. I said, look, I have to be risk on. We are above the 21-day moving average. I cannot wait any longer. And right away, I was rewarded. Right after that, I was retested. With my tail between my legs, we still held the 21-day moving average. And sure as shit, people, we hit a new all-time high on Friday, 603.35, the S&P 500. You heard it here first. This is absolutely amazing. I really do think that we have more time in this bull run. And if you guys don't know already, I always pay my respects to being positive. There's a lot of negativity out there, and I'm not positive because I think there needs to be more positivity out there, not just because of that, but because it pays, people. It pays. If we look at the S&P 500 over the last 100 years, you'll see that it has this beautiful uptrend. You can ask any child, which way is this going? They would say up or towards the sky or to the moon, baby, in some situations. And at 603.35, I like the S&P 500. I like where it's at. Yes, it is a little extended, but it is headed in the right trajectory. Maybe I should take a sip. The trajectory, if I said it right, before Predator sends, if I mess up my words too many times, Predator will send me the dictionary, like how to say, the pronunciation portion of it. Trajectory. I hope I said it right. We're going to have a lesson after this on how to speak. So the S&P 500, yes, we are risk on, people. For the overall portfolio, we are risk on, and we are making a killing in a long-term portfolio. Matter of fact, I wish I had more in there. I think everybody does. IWM. The IWM is looking like a high tight flag still extended from the 10-day moving average. But after all this volatility, what the hell do you expect? This thing is going absolutely nutso, as everybody loves the fact that the new IWM reached a new all-time high just last week. And if you don't think that is an absolute bomb, baby, then you have been missing out, because IWM has been a lagger for a very, very long time. It was a lagger to pull back. It was a lagger during the bull run. And now that we're in an absolute massive bull run, it finally just reached a new all-time high, as the overall S&P 500 has hit like 30 new all-time highs. The QQQs, a bunch of the Dow Jones Industrial. The small caps have not had money get brought into or introduced to it for a very, very long time. Folks, now that we have hit a new all-time high in the IWM, you heard it here first. I think the IWM is going to outbeat a lot of your other ETFs. Why? Because I think a lot of your institutional ownerships have missed their opportunity to build their positions in the IWM. I think they're still going to continue to build, and I think IWM is going to do a move similar to this. Okay? That's just my thoughts. That's not a for sure thing, but I think I'm going to go a little bit heavier on the IWM side while we still continue on this bull run. Now, we also have BitMarket, and Andre Waite says, spy to the moon. You're damn right, spy to the moon. Everybody's talking about all these shit altcoins, and they're saying to the moon, and they're doing all that. Spy to the moon, baby. That makes everybody rich. If the S&P 500 goes up and you have an investment vehicle, you're making money. We also have Bitcoin here, guys. We're still waiting on that 100,000, and it looks like it did end up hitting it. Am I wrong here? Let's take a look. Did I miss out on the Bitcoin? I was so busy this weekend. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, shall we? Bitcoin right now sitting at 97,562. No, it did not hit. It hit, oh yeah, okay, I was here for that. But it's getting very, very tight under that 100,000, guys. So what's going to happen here? That is the real question. What's going to happen to Bitcoin at 100,000? I think that's really a question I'm going to ask you guys right now, because I think there's only a few things that can happen. So what will happen to Bitcoin after it hits 100K? That's going to be the question. I'll give you guys the options here. 100K. Let's say continues higher. Let's say trade sideways. Or we'll add an option, heads lower. All right. All right, go ahead and vote on that poll, guys. That's the real question here. B. Stewie at David Worrell Trading. Yeah, baby. To the moon, baby. Yeah, I like that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The question for y'all is, what will happen to Bitcoin after it hits this 100,000? That's the real question. Does it continue higher? Does it just trade sideways at 100,000 and it can't get above it? Or does it head lower right after it hits that 100,000? I mean, I know last time everybody was so hyped about this. It did continue higher for quite some time. When you get so many people that are so excited about something like this, it really can continue higher. It really can, you know. So we'll see. We'll see very, very soon. I really like it. It looks good. It looks like a nice high tight flag. It's forming a beautiful pattern right next to this moon. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, let's see if it can get up there. So I like it. Okay, NASDAQ, yeah. So the NASDAQ's going to look very similar. You can see it's forming a high tight flag as well. It's looking very similar to your S&P 500. The Dow Jones Industrial, that thing has been ripping for quite some time now, guys. Dow Jones is really leading this. I mean, that's the big boats of your stocks, you know. Dan Bob says if it can break 100K, it will go to 150K. I agree. I think it's really going to be based around those psychological areas, the institutional ownerships, where they want to kind of create that market. Because really, now that it's open to institutional ownership, you're going to see there's going to be a lot of manipulation if there wasn't already, right? I think wherever there's money, there's manipulation. But now that the real money is starting to flow into Bitcoin, you're going to see the real manipulation start to really happen. We already looked at SMH. You can see it's riding on that 200-day moving average as the RSP, which is the equally weighted S&P 500, is showing us that we are getting equally distributed weight throughout all of the sectors, people. That's showing the equally weighted S&P 500 just hit a new all-time high on our half a day on Friday. So things are looking absolutely amazing. All right. All right, so I just want to remind everybody that we have a drawing on our Facebook page. So if you are not a part of our Facebook page, you cannot comment. You want to comment, you need to join the Facebook page. You need to comment on our section that talks about the shirts, the shirt giveaway, the cup giveaway. Just comment on there. You'll be thrown in the drawing. And then be here next Sunday. If you're here next Sunday, then you will be a part of that drawing, and we will be happy to put you on there, and we'll do the little spinny thing. It's going to be awesome. We already went through the watch list. We already talked about the stage 2. We talked about you guys doing your homework. We need to always make sure, don't just follow somebody blind. Do your damn homework. You need to have vindication when you're taking these trades that you own them, right? One thing that a lot of people come to me, they say, Dave, thank you so much for this ticker or that ticker or talking about this trade. I love it. It makes me feel great, but I don't want anybody ever coming to me and saying, Dave, I just made so much because of you. You know, that's not true. I did not press that button for you, okay? You press the buttons. You have to take the trades. So they need to be your ideas, and you need to have that indication. You need to have that confidence and that willpower, knowing and ownership of that trade. I've taken every single trade. Every single trade I've taken ownership on, and it hurts like hell knowing if I am the loser of that trade, especially with a 30% win rate. You need to be able to take ownership because you're going to lose more than you are winning, okay? So keep that in mind, guys. So we went over the drawing. We went over the current market. We went over the 1K challenge. I hope you guys are having an awesome one. I hope you guys are going to have an awesome night. We have 2 more stocks that we can go over. LSF. B2, we brought up LSF. You can see a stair-step pattern. What I like about this is these trend breaks. You got a base break, a trend break, a trend break, and now this is starting to get a little choppy here, but this might serve as a base or a trend breakout. We'll see that one very, very soon. We got DUOL. Oh, we got BFLY. Oh, yeah, that's nice too. A little extended from the 10-day moving average, but you can see if it can continue to stay tight here, this might be a good one at 337. We're going to create that alert. DUOL. Oh, so DUOL is looking really, really. So, guys, this is Duolingo. It's that where you can learn how to speak in different languages. This is really nice here. So, I would say another day. Let's say it pulls back and gets one more inside tight day. This thing could really get to moving here. It's been a very big mover. If you guys zoom out here, you can see it's been a very big mover. It's on obviously a stage 2. As long as we don't see the stage 3 starting to form here, this thing could actually move much, much higher. So it's starting to form a high tight flag. We'll see if it wants to hold on to the 21-day moving average. You can clearly see it respects this 21-day moving average. After a basing breakout here, it held the 21, held the 21, held the 21, held the 21. So this actually has plenty of room to come back down. So maybe more than just those few days I was saying. Maybe let this 21-day moving average catch up to it before breaking out higher. But I do like this DUOL. Very nice find. Dan Bob put on the chat, he said, thank you for joining us tonight. Please follow us on the many platforms. Yes, sir. He added the link tree in the comment section. So if you guys aren't aware of it already, what will happen to Bitcoin after it hits 100K? 69% of you say it's going to continue higher, as 23% says it's going to trade sideways. I personally think it's going to trade sideways and just get people in and out. I think it's going to trade sideways. I think it's going to get real choppy for a while, and they're just going to screw people over for a long time. But, of course, with the volatility, if it cannot stop, it'll continue higher. 8% say head lower. We're going to end that poll. Listen, guys, Wednesday night is our Discord meeting. We like to get together. That will be where I go over the 1K challenge. I should have everything set up tomorrow for the 1K challenge, so I might be able to actually take a trade tomorrow starting with the 1K challenge, but I'm not going to make a trade until it is all completely set up. I want to make sure I'm very, very strict with this, taking every trade, marking where I got in, why, annotations on every chart so we can go over them. I think it's going to do me just a healthy amount of good as well as everybody else that follows how we trade. All right? All right, guys. I think that wraps it up. Thank you guys so much. That was about, how long have we been on this? Oh my gosh, we almost went. I thought it was only 30 minutes. No joke. I thought I looked at the clock. It was 9:30. It's 9:54. We've almost been here for an hour. I'm telling you guys, awesome day. Awesome day. I hope you guys have an awesome night. And if you commented here, I'm going to give you a shout out on the way out. Just stick here to the end. We'll see you guys soon. Remember, do your homework. Be safe out there, guys. Learn risk management. Peace. All right. We are here. Wooden Bell says you're a rock star, Dave. You have no idea how good that makes me feel. I really appreciate you saying that, dude. Thanks, Dave. Matt Amaya, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you being here. You're welcome, B. Stewie. Thank you for being my day one, brother. B. Stewie, dude, you need to stop getting everybody sick, B. Stewie. I'm going to come hang out with you. We're going to go ride around in your car. No, I'm serious, dude. Take me for a ride in that whip. Yosef, what's up, man? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. EC Vargas, thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping in. Predator, not only were you here, but you were here on time. Thank you so much for being here, brother. And all the annotations you have that you've been posted in our Discord, Dan, Predator, I appreciate all the posts. Sweet Jolene, baby. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. Andre Waite, thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate your contribution. Tommy Dimes, I love the message, or not the message. I love the name, Tommy Dimes. I like it. Donnie Dollar, Tommy Dimes, and let's do, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something for Nickel. Nick Nichols. we should all do money names from now on. Let's see who else we got in here. Let's see. Danny. Oh, Danny swung by today. Hell yeah. I love it. I'm so happy. Nalani, thank you so much for being here. Zamora, of course, we do appreciate your amazing support. Jimmy Bright, all the way, baby. You guys are awesome. And Erica K, she was first today. She was first today and the last one for me to say goodbye to you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. We'll see you guys on Wednesday for the Discord meeting. And if not, we'll be trying to get at least one day on the earnings calendar. We're going to do an earnings so we can all hang out for a couple of hours, watch the earnings come in for one of these bigger high flyer names. We're going to let Dan Bob figure out what the best one is that we should do. But I hope you guys have an awesome night. Thank you so much for being here. Peace.